Rivalries has been part of the NBA since the first dribble. From Wilt and Bill Russell, to Magic and Larry Bird, to Hakeem and David Robinson, all the way to MJ and the entire Knicks franchise. The NBA has never disappointed when it comes to competition. But as years went on, these heated rivalries have slowly started to fizzle out and have been replaced by a sense of brotherly togetherness that makes you want to look out for your peers instead of wanting to outright end them on and off the court. While some of that old competitive fire isn't gone, you never really fight it between two specific players. Yes, you have people like Russell Westbrook that still show that passion and dislike for anybody he plays, but to be honest, that's just his personality. That intense competitive behavior isn't mutually exclusive to any one player. And you've gotten a glimpse of certain ones throughout the years like LeBron and Joakim Noah or Jimmy Butler and TJ Warren. But in those scenarios, those players are not even on equal grounds when it comes to skill or reputation in the NBA. But recently, there's been one that has the potential to be one of the greats. Let's talk about it. But before we get started, hi, I'm FLB. I'm a big basketball fan and I make basketball videos here on YouTube. So if any of those topics interest you, hit that sub button, as is the best way to help the channel grow. I make 2 videos a week and I'd love to have you guys back. Joel Embiid and karl-Anthony Towns are 2 of the NBA's premier big men on what looks like to be one of the best up-and-coming rivalries in the league, if this is anything to go by. But specifically, this is 2 years old. So initially, like me, most fans thought this was just an on and off another NBA fight. Nothing big would come out of this, just one small scuffle and then go back to sub-posting on Instagram. I feel like I can say for most people, no one thought this would be on site. But seems like we were wrong, because just a week or so ago, this happened. Yeah, I think it's safe to say they genuinely dislike each other, which is weird because a couple of their teammates are very, very good friends. So how did their relationship get here? Because a fight like this doesn't just happen out of nowhere. So let's look at their history and find out what really got them here. Now, like most beefs today, this one started on social media. Back in the 2016-17 season, the Sixers and Timberwolves squared off in a 118-112 overtime game where the Sixers came out on top and Embiid led the way with 28 points. And at one point in the game, Embiid decided to do this after Cat got called for a tech. Typical Embiid behavior. And to rub salt in the wound, he decided to post this on Instagram with the caption, "You're stepping through Minnesota and ended up raising the Cats last night. Hashtag the process." And what do you know, karl-Anthony Towns didn't like that and decided to comment, "The caption is as trash as the picture quality." Yeah, not the greatest clapback. But Embiid, not one to shut up, decided to tweet better quality than your defense. Now, if there's one domain that Embiid does control in the NBA, it's definitely social media trolling, as he's probably been the best since he's entered the league. But this beef only escalated from there, since the very next year, the Sixers acquired Jimmy Butler from the Minnesota Timberwolves. And if you watch this video from me, you know how bad Jimmy's time in Minnesota ended. And the 2017-18 season went off without a hitch. Not much to go by. 2 matchups where the Sixers completely dominated, and that's where it ended. And then the next season came along, with the Minnesota Timberwolves and 76ers having a pretty early matchup in the year. Both Embiid and Towns promised one thing: nothing would happen this game. With Cat saying the typical NBA player thing, saying the individual matchup doesn't matter to him at all, and Embiid coming out saying that he's done trash talking and that he's done with that. Both liars. As the first half went off without a hitch, nothing big happening. And then 5 minutes and 18 seconds into the third, this happened. While much didn't come of it, not a lot of punches landed, if any, it's still pretty interesting to see that they were very much out for blood. One picture even showing Embiid trying to gouge out karl-Anthony Towns' eye from his head. And it all ended with Ben Simmons getting involved, pulling away karl-Anthony Towns and having him in a damn chokehold on the ground. But with both players ejected after the game, Embiid decided to give this quote saying, "I ain't no," and it's not a lot of talking, it's kind of just happened out of nowhere. And went on to continue saying, "That's what I'm good at. I like getting into people's minds." A lot from somebody that just said he's done trash talking, huh? He then went on to say that none of the punches landed and maybe it would have been turned into something bigger if somebody did land a punch. And then went on to say that him and the Sixers have each other's back in any of these situations. And again, in typical Joel Embiid behavior, went on Instagram and said, "Great win. I was raised around lions and a cat pulled on me tonight. LMFAO. At Jimmy Butler, I miss being part of the third stringers. I got his mom giving me middle fingers. That's some serious real estate. Hashtag fight night. Hashtag I ain't no." Obviously, a callback to when Jimmy Butler took the third stringers from the Minnesota Timberwolves and destroyed their entire starting lineup in practice. Then karl-anthony Towns started going on Instagram mocking Embiid by saying, "I ain't no, raised around lions, hashtag talk." And Joel Embiid decided to have the last words, and they were kind of hard to go against. As he said under Towns' picture, "Imagine talking after a 20-point loss. You hate to see it, LMAO. Go ahead, use that picture of me caring about losing in the second round of the playoffs. Oh wait, you've never been there. You don't know what it's like. No cap. Boy finally won 3 games and he's been a pussy your whole life. That's why you were treated like a bitch by you know who. I ain't gonna put your business out there. Just know I know facts about you. Don't get it twisted. I own you." Jesus Christ. What did Jimmy tell this man? Because that's a lot to put out there. And Jimmy family said, "Hey, keep me out of this. I know my name is going to be pulled up. Leave me out of this." Which is probably the smart move, considering that you probably told this man a lot of things you probably shouldn't have. Obviously, this led to some suspensions. And after that, nothing really crazy happened since COVID happened, the bubble happened. They didn't really get to play again until this season. It didn't turn out to an all-out brawl, but you can definitely tell there's some sore feelings here, as neither of them held back in any of the hard fouls. But so far, that's all we have of this story. And it's just amazing to see we finally have a big rivalry in the NBA again with people that actually dislike each other. And it's just going to be really fun throughout the rest of their career to see how this develops. Because anger like this doesn't just go away. Hey, maybe a cat does leave Minnesota, or Minnesota finally gets competent. We may get an NBA Finals matchup between these two, which would be amazing. Probably unlikely, but still amazing. But that's really all I have for y'all today. So tell me, who do you think is winning in this beef so far in the comments section? My money's on Embiid, considering that he's won majority of the matchups. And for the simple fact that all the social media stuff, I feel like he's completely won all of that. Not to mention, karl-Anthony Towns has a whole video to look at of Ben Simmons holding him in a chokehold on the ground while Embiid is just standing up, walking away. But hey, maybe y'all think different. So let me know in the comments below. But with that being said, this has been FLB. Follow me on Twitter and on Twitch. I do be streaming twice a week, and I'm mostly active on Twitter. So if you want to ask me any questions or, just follow the channel or follow me, that'd be great. But with that being said, I'm out.